Okay, so I've got a few people asking me how I did this water cooling setup. So I'm making this video to show you guys exactly what I've changed with it and how I actually did it. So you can see it is a lot different than last time. It's not on the outside of the amps, it's actually going into the amps. And I'll show you the back, what else I changed. So I also took the spring out of my trunk because it was rattling too much. So I have to use a stick to hold it up for now. Okay, so this part's a lot different. I put everything in a box. I even got a radiator hooked up to it. And it goes up back into the amp. There's a bunch of tubes going everywhere. It's kind of confusing. So this is the box. It's just sitting in here. It has two computer fans in the front, a reservoir with just a little pump inside. So if I move this, you can see the radiator on the back. This is just a transmission radiator I got for free from a friend. Here's the tubes coming out of it, one in, one out, and then all the power wires go into it. So I'll open this up. So inside, we have the power going in through a relay. The relay, it turns on when the remote wire for the stereo turns on. So it turns on all the electronics in here. There's an inverter. I didn't need a 400 watt. That's the only thing I had. The pump's only 11 watts. I got two computer fans hooked up in here. And all the vinyl tubing all connected together through the radiator, through the reservoir from the pump, all to the amps. And yeah, I even have little lights in here to light everything up when it's running. I connected everything with just copper tubing and zip ties. And I'll show you the amps now. So in the amps, now it actually goes inside. I drilled holes in there, and I made these custom things that you screw in from the inside and the tubes connect onto it. And then inside the amp, there's other copper pipes along the edges of the metal inside to get contact. Before, how I had copper tubes that I would shove through the heatsink all the way through to the other side and connect the vinyl tubing up to this, so it would just run all the way through back and forth. It looked a lot cooler that way, but it was really a hassle to get this off and change around settings or do other stuff. So I'll turn it on. I think that's on. Yep. Okay, now it's on. You can kind of hear the fans going. All the lights are on, so everything's glowing. I don't know if you can see bubbles flowing through there. It's just getting all the air out now. These things are not on here very well. It comes off really easily. The zip ties are barely holding it on there anymore. They're all brittle and cold. So there's the pump. It's just like a fountain pump I got from Home Depot. This reservoir, I made it out of plexiglass. There's two baffles here for moving around. When it's in a moving car, you don't want that sloshing around everywhere. Yeah, so here's the inside of it. Got one feeding from the pump going into the radiator, and it goes through the radiator and then comes out the bottom, goes into the amps, gets warmed up in there, comes back in, and then just gets dumped right back into the reservoir. You can kind of see bubbles there. And that's about it. Doesn't work that great in the summer. Works It keeps the amp significantly cooler though. In the summer, when everything's in here is 50 degrees anyway, and the amps are running at 60 degrees, it doesn't really make much of a difference. And yeah, that's it.